My name is Olivia Zavala Carridine, and I'm from Pleasanton, Texas, just south of San Antonio. Things at home were a little hairy. They were absolutely correct when they said some of us weren't missed at home, And so I was 10 credits away from my degree in computer science and decided I'd had enough of college, needed a total change, and joined the Navy. I was respecting authority. I was in a vehicle under the control of a representative of the U.S. Navy. Because that little 23-year-old that night shoulda, woulda, coulda. And I didn't know. My fear, that fear. And it triggered on through the course of knowing that, People, period, male or female, it happens to both. And you're gullible, you trust, you're naive, and you're trusting a higher authority that represents someone you envision yourself trying to be like. I think that's who I became, to survive all those things that I couldn't control. I wasn't able to control that. I wasn't able to control the stuff there at boot camp. All I could control was what I could do to get through what I had to get through and survive. I felt like I had no protection, no voice. If I said something, it's a male hearing it, and if it's not a Hispanic male being racist to his own, it's this other male figure, regardless of race, that I'm a woman, don't challenge me. We're fewer. We're underrepresented. We tend to keep a tighter lip for different things that someone is going to criticize, maybe not feeling like we can identify with that because we're Latino. We don't have the same type of cultural to understand or identify. When it comes to certain things, we're still not regarded as an equal even to the Hispanic male in the military. It's a very difficult thing to fathom of where I thought I was going. It's an adventure. It's not just a life, it's an adventure. You have to make your own adventures. Like, I have to go back and look at hindsight, certain things that gave me the reason to be able to be proud, to be a Latina woman veteran. They gave me a checkoff list of services, like what you're asking. And some was to go and food stamps and insurance, Medicaid. My now ex-husband at the time was working for Hostess Wonder Bread. We were like $14 over the limit to receive any kind of help. And yet, we had 2 kids at the time, like 4 and 5, and one was a real bad asthmatic, and go figure, Yes, he was getting paid well through Hostess Wonder Bread, but back then, this was in '90, we were paying $1,200 a month for rent back then. And so we didn't have, after the car payment, after the car insurance, after utilities, after the rent, we didn't have much left for food. And so, of course, I went and applied for food stamps. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Carridine, and apologize, you don't qualify. You're like $14 or $21 over. It was a very menial, low double-digit number. And it's like, but I do want to thank you for your service. I struggled that day, understanding everything, and I think I came to a conclusion of feeling I made the right decision then, having left, because I felt like me and my family weren't a priority, no more than I had been a priority while I was active duty as a woman. We come back home We integrate back to the family, whether the function or dysfunction of it. Some things we move forward, it's in our culture, we were supposed to endure that, we were supposed to, accept it or settle for that, and it's not. So I think that there's several things that Latina women in the military struggle with. And I ended up leaving my husband. I ended up homeless, okay? I ended up homeless. I struggled with that. That's when I took ownership of my veteran status. On the wall, there was a list of services that were being offered to homeless people every day. And there was a peer-to-peer support group meeting flyer that Grace After Fire had every Thursday morning going on. And so I remembered having gotten material from them before, and the Grace After Fire, empowering women to help themselves. That's all I wanted to do, was help myself. So I missed the first meeting. Second meeting, I went ahead and went, and that was the best decision I made. Ever since then, I truly believe with their mission statement, we got to carry ourselves with grace, no matter what. It's the grace that gets us through things when nothing else will. And our families sometimes know what we go through, but sometimes they don't know, and people don't always know like us veterans know, and that's why we have this sense of camaraderie. And through Grace After Fire, having gone there and dealing with them, that is what's been my biggest help. And trying to empower each other and worry, do you need help with this? Do you need help with that? Is there something? Or if someone knows something, it's like, hey, you know what? This over here, she needs this, she needs help with that. Or, call this number, they can help you with this. Register in, the peer-to-peer support groups. And so it's been wonderful. They really do get involved enough for us to feel like we're not in it alone, and that you do have a group of people that genuinely do care, because 9 times out of 10, we're all going through the same thing.